Okay, so for the first question, I want, like, Swati, you want to start asking questions and then I can take over.
Yeah. Hello, good evening, everybody.
First,
Uh,
introduce yourself, and then Shuvangi will introduce, and then I'll take over.
okay. Okay. Hi, I'm Dr. Swati Soni. I'm a naturopathy physician. So today we are doing this webinar for level literacy. Shuvangi, would you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, I'm Shuvangi Lal. So I'm junior nutritionist here to present the webinar. And here with me, Shruti ma'am and Swati ma'am is there.
Okay, so the first question I want you to answer, whoever has joined and later on people who will see it, is that how many of you want to lead a healthy life? How many of you want to understand what are healthy products? I think you can answer yes and no in the type or just yes, of course. So today's webinar is actually a very important webinar. We all want to live a healthy life. We all want to live and we all want the best of products. And sometimes there's so much confusion around what are good products, what are good brands. How do we really understand the labels? Because the labels keep evolving as we try to understand them. Like the food industry, the label industry is very smart. They keep changing, they keep evolving. Once we start understanding, oh, we have they all the audience or the consumers know about these, they will start giving new names. So it is up to us to understand really what's going in the labels, what food we are picking, what brands we are picking, because that's something very important. Now I want you to look into your kitchens. How many products like do you buy and consume on a daily basis? Say for example, do you use honey, do you use ketchup, do you get chips, do you consume salt and sugar, of course, but how many of that products do you use in on a daily basis? Three, four, which are bought up from the store and used every day in that same form. I'm not talking about fruits and vegetables, but the end products like ketchups, honey, salt, sugar, any other things which you use, any syrups, any powders. How many total? Give me a ballpark figure in the chat. One or two. Okay. Okay, so let me just give you some statistics. And what is this label literacy all about? So, number one, there have been these new statistics which have come, which is when we see the labels, there are a lot of these added sugars, trans fat, gluten, MSG, sodium benzoate, potassium sorbate. These are the main thing. So label literacy refers to the ability to read, understand, and use the food labels to make healthier choices. Number one, there is very lower awareness about this. 52% consumer globally do not know how to use the labels and how to understand the nutrition labels. There are a lot of misleading claims. Around 60% of people are influenced by claims like low fat, natural, and without checking the actual ingredient. Now, 45% of consumers fail to recognize the hidden sugars listed under names. It could be, and we will tell you what are the names of the sugar and food additives. My God, this is very major. About 70% of consumers do not know the side effects of MSG, the preservatives, sodium benzoate, potassium sorbate, etc., etc. And also, there is a lot of nutritional misinterpretation. Over 40% people do not understand the serving size of the information. When you go and take any product, us- behind that product, there is that nutritional fact about that and put in the black and white thing. People do not understand how to do that. So today's webinar is about education. It's an educative webinar. It is very important, and I want you to take notes. Plus, and get any food label or get any product, and we can discuss how to actually go through it. And there are some examples over there. So I invite Swati. Swati is a head nutritionist and she's a naturopath doctor to take you through this very important webinar, and will invite Shuvangi because we we get this question every time we take consultations, that what are the great good products and how to understand label. Because in this world we go out, we want to pick up lot of these, especially if you're in US or in big cities. You don't have time, you want to pick up good products, but you don't know how to understand the labels. So this is about that. So up to Swati, you can take over.
Sure.
Yeah. Can't hear you.
Ma'am, you are not audible.
Oh, sorry. Hello, everyone. Okay, so we will go ahead and we will try to understand how to read the labels. This is very crucial point, very crucial task when it comes to choosing healthy lifestyle, because we are surrounded with so many products. We cannot live product-free life. It is both useful and disastrous to us. So what we can do is choose healthy foods, and if we are able to read labels correctly, if we are educated about it, we will be making healthy choice most of the times. So when we go to a food store, supermarket, all these kind of products, colorful packet, they attract us. The labels, sugar free, natural, herbal, all these attract us a lot, and it gives us a face ki, okay, if we are choosing these kind of products, it is written natural, it will not harm our body. So let us dig in what is behind these so-called healthy labels. We'll go further, Shivangi. Next slide. We these see these kind of labels a lot, like sugar free, made with real fruit, made with real ingredients, so and so and so. So what does label exactly tells you? It tells you some crucial information about that packet or product that you're handling over. Number one is the serving information. So for example, I'm having a product, I'm having a packet of something. How many serving does one packet is enough for one person, or does it serve for 10 people? We sometimes end up consuming an entire chips packet of chips, but it might not be a of a serving size of one. It might have serving size of four. That means one person can only consume at a time one fourth of that particular packet. So what we want to know about behind the label is what is the serving. If you can see this label, the sample label, on the top of this label is written 4 servings per container. That means in one container, 4 people can consume, or it has to be consumed in 4 different meal sittings. Second thing, most crucial again, is calorie information. Every packet will have how many calories do they serve you. If you are on a calorie management diet or calorie restricted diet, if you just want to ensure a particular number of calories what you have to have in a day, then you definitely need to look into this caloric information, that how many calorie a packet or a serving size is giving you. Next is the nutrient information. Nutrient information gives you understanding about how many carbohydrate does it have, what kind of carbohydrate does it contains, what kind of fats, proteins, other kind of micronutrients like vitamins, minerals, and some kind of salts, and other things which comes are additives and preservatives, which Shuvangi will help you understand later on. percentage daily value information, it simply means that in a day, for example, if you need 5 grams of serving of fat in a day, so the percentage daily value information simply tells you that how many percentage of your daily requirement is this product serving you. So if you see at the bottom, it is written 5% of less or less is low. For example, if you are seeking any product to fulfill your protein requirement, so and if that product is having less than 5% of total proteins that you require in a day, it is very low. It does not fulfill your requirement. And if the requirement is too much, say more than 20%, then it is not a good supplement or substitute, because supplements are supposed to supply you the nutrition on a secondary basis, not the primary basis. Then it is an overdose of something. We'll go to the next slide. Yeah. So, what is the food label? Now we know what it is. Ingredients list. What we need to understand. We will dig in deeper in the next slides. Nutritional facts, allergen information. If it contains any allergies or not. For example, if you are allergic to lactose, if the product contains lactose, it should be mentioned on that. And if you read it properly, you will come to know if it affects you or not. Storage and expiry, we all know about it, to check the expiry date and how to store the products, because that is also very crucial. Some products need to be stored on a cold temperature, and if we are just storing it on the in the room temperature or maybe in temperate climate, then the product quality might get deteriorated. So that is also very, very important, how to store that particular product. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. Next slide, Shuvangi. Okay. So why is it so important to read the food labels? Number one is the health awareness. If you are somebody who is looking to improve your health or sustain or maintain your health, it is very, very important that you consider choosing good quality or appropriate products in your life. Nutrient intake, if you are counting on any kind of nutrients, then it is crucial that what are nutrients that are going into your body from that particular products. Dietary preferences, if you are having gluten free, lactose free, or any kind of, if you're a vegan, what does that product supply you? Avoid deceptive marketing. If the product is fooling you, if the things they are claiming is false, then you should be able to understand that you should not get carried away from the false labeling. Okay, next slide. This is very interesting. If you look into this picture, it clearly states it is free from sugar. So what is the impression this label would give anybody is that there is no sugar in this product. So if I am a diabetic, or if I want to just cut down on my sugar intake throughout the day, I can easily pick this product and I can be mentally freaky. Okay, I'm not having any sugar. But if you dig into the labels, dig into the ingredients list, if you see maltodextrin written over there. So maltodextrin is a kind of sugar substitute which is added to many products. So these are the sugars which are known as silent sugars or hidden sugars, which need not to be written as a sugars basically in any label. But if you know that, okay, this is a kind of sugar, you will be able to pick it up. So this is how they fool you. Uh,
Exactly. And
in-
I see there is flavoring sweeteners, stevia glycate as well, and black tea extract. All these extracts, and you have to be very, very careful because even the extracts and the sweeteners are processed.
yeah, that's true. That's true. So these kind of actually sugars are added at the processing step when they process the products.
So is it important to understand the processing of the product as well, right? If the product is too much processed, like for example, decaf, we understand that decaf will have no caffeinated, but actually when the processing of coffee, they use so many acids, so they lose the antioxidants, and you're actually inflaming your gut if you're using decaf. Might as well use coffee.
True, true, true. Yeah, so actually these marketing gimmicks, they just take your pulse. They just read the trending, healthy, what to say, healthy trend, For example, if people are getting scared of sugar, they will just hide the sugar. They'll hide the name of sugar. They will write no sugar, less sugar, or low sugar, whatever it is. And they will keep adding the alternatives to it, which are equally or sometimes more harmful than sugar. So, like for comparatively, if I tell you that if you should pick up a sugar based product or a sugar free product, so sugar free product will do more harm because the chemicals which are there, which gives the sweet taste, they actually harm your liver in a long run. So if you're occasionally picking any sweet, for example, a sweet based product, then you better go for a proper sugar product. So what is natural sugar and added sugar? This is also very important to understand, you know. So if it is a natural sugar that it is coming from a food which is naturally available. For example, you get a milk based product, milk based shakes or ice creams or anything like that. Okay. So, milk in itself contains some amount of sugar. See, anything that you eat naturally, whether it is grains, fruits, vegetables, anything, they have more or less amount of sugar in it. So the sugar which naturally present in any food product is called natural sugar, which is available. If you eat a banana, there is sugar in it. It is natural sugar. But if I add some sugar on top of it, if I add jaggery or honey or maltodextrin or even cane sugar, any kind of brown sugar, anything on top of it, that will be called as added sugars. So you will see a lot of products nowadays which are claiming as no added sugars, wherein they have natural sugars, the sugars already present in the ingredients, but nothing added on the top. So this is something you can consider, and this is you can something you can go ahead with if the natural sugars are available present in a product. Fine, it is coming either from fruits or milk or yogurt or any kind of other natural available sources, but there is no added sugar on top of it. If I tell you the example, ketchups, any kind of sauces, any kind of granola bars or flavored yogurt, they have a lot of added sugars in that. We'll go to the
Especially
next.
these bars, like those energy bars.
Bars, protein bars, yeah, so-called healthy bars. They have a lot of sugar in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so this is something again interesting. This is the alternative names for sugar. These are all industrial sugars. These are the artificial sugars which is used immensely in so-called healthy products. Maltodextrin, maltose, dextrose, glucose, refined sugar, inverted sugar, sucrose, barley malt syrup, cane juice. Please make a list of or take a screenshot of this, because if you go to buy any sugar-free product, make sure that these are the not ingredients available in the product.
And right now, there's a new sugar-free thing called monk fruit sweetener.
Yeah.
Actually, the problem with that is again, it's processed and it has shown to rise up. All of these products, they actually spike your insulin level quite a bit. So
True.
be careful about these alternatives for sugar. Monk fruit sweetener is a better one, but again, insulin spikes like crazy.
Yeah. So see, there's a question if molasses is a better form of sugar. Anything that is sugar is eventually sugar. Honey is sugar, jaggery is sugar, coconut sugar is sugar. All these things will give you sugar spike for sure. See, why jaggery is better than the refined sugar? Just because the chemicals are not added in it. And it has got traces of minerals, but it's just traces of mineral. You can't afford to have excess quantity of pure jaggery also, because
That's right.
you want to prevent yourself from the refined sugar.
Especially if you have a tendency, like for example, you're going through cancer or you're going through,
And
say, you have diabetes, you have thyroid. I would say just avoid all these molasses and jaggery and all. I mean, once in a while it's fine, but if you're doing it on a daily basis, it's really going to. Why do you want to spike your sugar?
yeah, yeah. That nowadays the people are so scared about sugar, they will fear of eating a banana, but they will
Yeah, very true. Very
uh,
true.
a yogurt cup which is flavored yogurt, and there is a lot of alternative sugar to that. Artificial sugar is there.
So you are suggesting that I would rather eat a banana than a flavored yogurt, right?
Absolutely. As we spoke about natural sugar, the sugars which are available naturally in all the food sources, go ahead. There is no harm in having natural sugar. But these are the ones which you see on your screen are actually the thing that those kind of sugar, which will really impact you badly.
Ma'am, many people are nowadays asking like, we are diabetic, but can we have dates? So, what is your thought about this question?
Ideally, we generally we give dates and all kind of fruits to diabetics also, unless somebody is chronically diabetic and extremely sensitive to sugar spike. Even the slightest of sugar intake from a fruit gives sugar spike. Only in extreme cases we need to avoid it. Otherwise, it's and there are strategies how somebody can incorporate natural sugars into their diet without giving sugar spike. So that needs to be considered.
True.
Okay, we'll go to the next slide. So this is about sugar. Yes. So anything over 5%, it is about sugar again. So anything about 5% in a serving size is excess in nature. So you should not opt for something above 5% if it is a sugar-based product. Next slide. Okay, next slide. Okay, so fat is again a very, very trending bechara
Yeah.
in scared of
That's
fat
something.
as if it is a villain or something like that. Fat है इसमें तो नहीं चाहिए. We don't want fat. We don't want to fat and being fat. Something psychologically connected. Okay, so fats are also of two types, as you can see on your screen: healthy and unhealthy fats. Healthy fat, which is very, very, very important to support our system. Many functions in our body happens with the usage of healthy fats. If we cut down on these healthy fats, it becomes very difficult to manage weight, to lose weight, to improve your brain functions, to improve your musculoskeletal functions, and also other processes in your body. So there are unhealthy fats. Unhealthy fats. We all know the names of unhealthy fats. Trans fats, of course, are there, which is quite harmful, which gives inflammation, which just gets deposited in our body and gives obesity, fatty liver, all these conditions. Sources of unhealthy fat are written in front of you, like nuts and seeds for vegetarians, fatty fish, or like salmons for people who can't avoid non-veg foods. Avocados are there, of course, but nuts and seeds are something which is available quite naturally in our country, and almost everybody consumes them. So go ahead with it. And any food that will contain these kind of healthy fats, it is quite okay to go for it, and you can consume those products. But just look into if the non-healthy fat is also available. We'll go to the next slide. Hidden fats in the food. Yeah. Yes. So hidden fats are often listed under the name. Okay, so this is very important. Many a times, the conventional food products that are available, they will label their products as low fat food. Low fat food are often loaded with too much or extra sugars, artificial sugars or hidden sugars to compensate the flavors, because the fat gives a very good taste to any food. You add a little bit of tadka on your dahi, it becomes double the taste. So fat gives flavor. Fat is very much, flavorful in nature. So any product conventionally, if it is getting prepared, if they just market it as low fat food, they will eventually, or they often add excessive sugar to just compensate the taste and flavor. And they also add excessive salt then, because something has to give the taste, if not fat. So please
And
don't
how about
fat
your how
claims.
about oils, Swati, palm oil and stuff?
Yeah, so palm oil, I believe we all know about it. Palm oil is a kind of refined oil which is highly inflammatory in nature, and which also which is very, very, harmful for our kidneys, for our arteries, because it gets deposited in our body, leads to obesity, and it is something which is not required for normal functioning of our body. We need good fats. We need polyunsaturated fats, monounsaturated fat from cold pressed oil like coconut oil, avocado oil, mustard oil, and other kind of oils like sesame oil. So fat, when you go like naturally available fat is the oil that we use in our daily life. So oil has to be used only cold pressed oil. The kachi honey oil, the wood pressed oil. These are all non-refined form of oil where you get the good fats in it. Refined oil has to be avoided at all cost because that is highly inflammatory in nature. The good part is already gone. It is highly inflammatory in nature. It just clogs your arteries and does nothing good. Okay, next slide. Okay, so after fat, sodium is also something. Why we are considering sodium here? Because sodium present in salt gives a lot of taste. If one day we cannot go without salt, one day we cannot eat, no sodium or no salt diet. It's very, very crucial. So companies know this, marketing people know very well about it that sodium or salt gives very good taste to food product. If we add a little more of sodium, it gives a very nice taste, and it is something which is addictive in nature. A packet of chips, if you open, why do they say you can't stop at one? Because there is a lot of sodium, there is even MSG sometimes, and it keeps you just engaged in that flavor, and it gives you dopamine kick. Your brain feels good, your body feels good, you feel happy about it. Sodium is very, very, very addictive. Salt and sodium, both S's, are highly addictive in nature. Next slide.
What is the difference between salt and sodium?
So
Let
sodium is a part of salt. If I take 1 teaspoon of salt, it is not the entire sodium in it. It is sodium chloride. So half of the salt is sodium, you can consider. And the sodium part is primarily responsible to increase the blood pressure, to stress on your kidneys, because your kidneys are the one which takes out excessive amount of sodium from your body. So when you are eating too much of salt, see, I'm not scaring you from salt. Nowadays the people are scared of sugar, but they don't know about the salt. So you can have salt in your diet, but when it comes to packaged food, they add too much of isolated sodium in the food because it gives very nice taste, addictive taste. So when it comes to packaged food, you need to be considering sodium quantity. You can see in front of your screen any serving which is having less than 1.5 gram of sodium is okay to consume. But if it is 1.5 gram, then it is something which is in high value, and you should not go, especially if you are suffering with the kidney problems or high blood pressure problems. If you're looking to reduce weight, because too much of sodium gives insulin spike on a long run, not it won't happen in a day, on a long run, and insulin resistance is developed. Insulin resistance one develops, it is one of the biggest root cause of obesity, fatty liver, diabetes, and other metabolic problems, even hormonal problems.
Also, it leads to dehydration, right?
Hydration, absolutely dehydration. And when you are dehydrated, you often crave for sugars rather than water. So this is my tip to everybody that whenever you feel hungry, you feel okay, we have had a meal like just 2 hours back. Why am I feeling hungry? Many a times the dehydration actually gives you a feeling of hunger. So consider drinking a glass of water rather than just jumping on any snack or any meal uh, before you just consider quenching your thirst. Okay, we'll go to next. Yeah. So now we know that low fat or fat free, they often contains extra sugar to just compensate with the fat loss. Sugar free does not mean calorie free. They may have those kind of alternative sugars hidden, the ones we spoke about. Natural organic does not guarantee that the product is free of added sugar. So for example, I can sell a banana loaded with sugar coating and I can label it natural because it is a natural product, but I don't need to include every single term in my main label. So when you go for natural organic product, please see the label again. Multigrain.
Especially, I would say that these bars, these sports bars, or these, these bars which you consume, the granola bar, they say it's natural and organic, but there are 100, 2 or 3 added sugars for sure in them.
Yeah, most of the time, most of the
Very
time.
true, ma'am.
Mm.
Next slide. Okay, so this is about the major part. We try to make it clear how the basic labeling has to be understood. From now on, Shuvangi will take over and she will make you understand about the preservatives and chemicals part of the foods. Please, Shuvangi.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay, so have you heard about gluten? Any one of you? You can type in the chat box.
I think all of us, yes.
So, gluten is the most inflammatory part of the foods. So, many of us know that gluten is mainly a protein. So, it is found in wheat, a part of protein which is found in wheat, barley, rye. So, under the fact that many products we see, it is claimed as gluten free, but it is like reclaimed name, it is changed as barley, rye, or sometimes it is written that wheat extract. So what
Yeah,
we consider wheat extract is the gluten only.
yeah. A lot of pastas are claimed wheat.
Yes, pastas, breads, the packaged breads, they always like without gluten, bread cannot be made very easily. Like there are certain breads which they claim is gluten free. Brown bread, the brown bread which is packed in there, I have seen many packaged brown bread which is 48% of wheat extract and rest of it is made from wheat, the whole wheat. So the wheat extract is the gluten only, but it is written under as wheat extract 48% and the rest we count as 52%. So it is like partially it is gluten only. We are having it, and the persons who is telling that we are having healthy breads. So this is not healthy what we are having actually. So
Right.
nowadays, these are company strategies, marketing strategies. They prove it like gluten free, brown bread, whole wheat bread, or gluten free pastas. But there are certain amounts of gluten added to it. What is the harmful aspect of it? We will see to it. Like gluten is like many peoples are having celiac disease. We know that those who are gluten intolerance, they cannot digest it. In their intestine gluten stucks and they have acidity, bloating, many types of digestive issues they are going to uh, fall in. Now when we see that we are not having gluten directly in the food but having it through the processed packaged ones, so if they are intolerance and having that, so might be there they can have severe issues in later areas, so there will be
A
like
lot of
no foods
people,
can be.
anyways, yeah, lot of people, anyways, have a lot of gluten allergy without even having sensitivity. But the packaged foods, if you think your pasta is gluten free, you have to look at behind and really see the ingredients. Like she said, the wheat, there could be some amount of rye, barley, or could have some sort of extract. So be careful about what brand you're choosing. And one more very interesting thing is that in the packet, it is also written, especially here in USA, that this product is manufactured where there are wheat is manufactured, tree nuts and pine nuts and nuts, and even eggs are manufactured. So really, if the same machine is used to make the pasta where the wheat already has done, so they will have some traces of the gluten already. So you have to be careful while choosing the brand, while choosing gluten free products, with very, very important. Yeah.
So now
Okay.
comes the MSG. So this is the most common villain in the
Yes.
food, packaged food. MSG is mainly found in the Chinese foods. So this is also known as Ajinomoto. So the childrens are very craving for this because this has been added to the food so that we got craving more. When we have MSG indirectly in the processed chips, snacks, or Chinese masalas like test makers. So when we have that, we got more craving to that food. We crave more to that food.
How
So
about Maggie's, Shuvangi? A lot
yes,
of people used
Maggie
to.
has monosodium glutamate very much, and that is more than 5 grams. Monosodium glutamate is like injurious to health. We know that it is carcinogenic in nature, and long term prolonged use can be like we can gain a lot of weight. So it can be like obesity can be caused. Many more factors are there, like we are looking for healthy foods, and while healthy foods we cannot have chemicals. While the term comes healthy food, that should not be containing any chemicals. So these are the factors. So many sauces like Chinese sauces, when you we use soya sauce, ketchups, so those all containing this MSG. More than 5 gram is
What
very unhealthy.
what is the alternative of these? Like,
We
say, for
can
example, I want to have soya sauce, and soya sauce also contains gluten, right?
yes, very true, ma'am. So we can make homemade sauces. So many sauces we can make in home very easily, and there are such so many organic products. They do not use these chemicals. We can have a look onto that, and we can have a look on the nutrition labels. We can find out that are these containing that ingredients or
Yeah.
not. We can find out from that.
You've written hydrogenized protein, yeast extract, which is actually a hidden source for
Yes,
all
so
these.
so these are labeled actually as hydrolyzed yeast extract, natural flavoring agent, or hydrolyzed protein. So Ajinomoto is not directly because this is banned in many countries. In India, it is used like here too. We get it in the shop also. When we ask, can we get Ajinomoto? They will sell it for 15 to 20 rupees for 15 to 20 grams. They will like 1 rupees 1 gram. But in US, in Europe, we will see that these are banned. So there it is termed that a hydrolyzed protein, autolyzed yeast extract, natural flavoring agent. So this is the marketing strategy they use to sell these products.
Oh, wow. I didn't know about this. A lot of products have yeast extract here in US, especially the breads.
Yes, actually this is the thing they add.
Okay. Cool. Next slide.
So food colors. These food colors have been added to many foods. These are very injurious and harmful to our health, but these are looking attractive. Like when we see to the candies, they look like a yellow, red, and a green color. We feel like those are like attractive things. So this color have been added so that people get attracted to it and have it. But these colors are like carcinogenic in nature. When we see to blue 1 and blue 2 color, these are cancer causing agents. Red 3 is to banned in many countries, but
I think it recently got banned in US as well,
yes,
but
yes.
not in India. Not
No,
in
no,
India.
not in India. India, it is like here it is a country where all the harmful things we are having.
Yeah.
Green, yellow, these are the colors which are mostly cancer causing and have been added to candies, sauces, and many more chocolates have been adding it. Spices, the spices and
Yes, spice.
condiments are like more rich sources of these artificial colors.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yes, and even colors are also sold here. Like you can add. I have seen laddus. They are using the yellow color, commonly used yellow color in the laddus. We
In the
all
bundi
know,
laddus.
and those colors, if you see the label, after that color, it is written that it is like carcinogenic in nature. But people are using that. On the label,
Really?
it is written, but people are using like
Yes.
like tobacco.
give cancer with this return, but it will get
but
consumed.
they are using it.
How about people are using in cakes, making cakes and the icings?
Yes, so in icing, they are using it to like make it more attractive, flavorful. They think like colors are giving flavor. Why we cannot use colors? We can use healthy colors using the flower colors. We can use the
Right,
colors of roses, hibiscus. We can use the blue pea flower color,
true.
the blue color. In Kerala, they use rice in blue color. They make it from the blue pea flower and color it at the pigmented blue rice. So there are certain peoples who are using food colors from the flowers or the natural food sources. Like we can make the green color from the spinach, but we like to buy it from the outside sources. We can make the colors by our own self.
Right.
So here comes the red color. The red color is like mainly used in spices and sauces and many desserts. Like if we see the ice creams, if we see the yogurts, it is almost everywhere. So the
Especially
red,
in yogurts. Oh my God, even here, the red color now it's prohibited, but now since of course some other color might come into practice, but especially I've seen yogurts, like we feel the yogurts are healthy, but it has sugar and then they are flavored. You think it's strawberry, but actually it's just color.
yes. So the artificial color red 40, which is also known as carmine. So this one is the have been seen in researches that this can cause potential carcinogenic effects, mainly seen in children's, because children's are more attractive to the red color. We see then when they see the red candies, they got attracted to that red candies. So this is also found in chili powders, paprika powders, ketchups, hot sauces, barbecue sauces, candies. So we all know, but
How
other
about
sources are
canned
also.
juice? Do you think canned juice also has
Yes,
some?
canned juices also have these colors, but it is like hidden. So there should be written in a like a red color. It will not be mentioned like red 40 or caramine. It will not be mentioned in these names, but it is like color added. Added colors are there. In the ingredient list, they all should uh, mention the color name, but they only mention that color contains added colors, contains added flavors.
Also, one thing which I really want to point out, a lot of spices in India, chili powders, and what she was talking, even black pepper, even cinnamon powder, have been found. There is a lot of colorings and added additives to flavor it. The main ingredients is less, the cinnamon would be less, but they use wood or some other product. So please be very careful while choosing your spices. जो खुले में मिलते हैं वो तो you should never pick up.
Ma'am, I would like to give a highlight on this. So, when have you seen papaya seeds?
Yeah.
They are black, similar looking to the black pepper. So the black pepper powder or black pepper whole black peppers are adulterated with these papaya seeds. And when we see it is similar, looking similar, but
Right.
those are adulterated. Even the dhania powder or coriander seed powder, those are adulterated with cow dung.
Oh, wow.
So what we are having, we have to look very carefully.
Right.
Now comes sodium benzonate. So this is a chemical preservative mainly used in jams, sauces and apple cider vinegar. So this is used to increase the shelf life of the product, but this is very scary to say that it can damage our DNA, like DNA replications. It can damage to a so much in so much level that we will not be. And even I have seen so many cases that having sodium benzonate in more than like more they people are having jams and packaged sauces, and a person have been found that got paralysis attack due to sodium benzoate.
Oh, wow. So that means it does a lot of cellular damage.
Yes, lot of cellular damage.
Okay.
So this is like very much poisonous to our health. Last ingredient, potassium sorbate. So these are used in baked products like baked chips or baked biscuits, cakes, and ice creams also. So this is like commonly causing allergic reactions, skin irritations, digestive issues. This commonly shows the allergic reactions in our body. So it's what it does when it reacts with the food. It inhibits the mold and yeast bacteria growth, which can cause food poisoning when we eat it. After we eat it, within 3 to 4 hours, we can cause food poisoning. Many people's having cake and told within 3 to 4 hours they told that I'm having itching sensation. I'm having some rashes in my uh, face. So why does it having it? So this is only the reason of potassium sorbate.
A case, a recent, it was very tragic to see a young girl, 7, 8 years old, after she consumed this cake, she lost her life. And the owners, of course, whoever the cake was prepared, that bakery got shut down, and obviously the case is still on. But you need to be very careful. And she was very much, I think the parents were aware that she is allergic to certain things, and they were asked to avoid, but still, some ingredients had. So you have to be very careful again. Where are you getting your products from? It's important in this. Unfortunately, the more we are advancing, but our health is deteriorating, and because of all these chemical infestations.
And these chemicals are mentioned on the label itself, like if it contains potassium sorbate, it is mentioned potassium sorbate, but people don't know about potassium sorbate, so they don't know the harmful aspects of this.
Right, right, right.
So tips for label reading, you have to check the serving sizes, you have to check the ingredient list very carefully. Does it contain any harmful thing or any chemicals, any preservatives, any food colors? You have to check the processing method, how much it is processed, as we know that there are some certain organic and natural products used in the product, but when it is processed it become harmful. And you have to choose the additive free options, like which is minimal processed and those are whole or organic ones.
Right.
So here it is a question, pick any 5 healthy products from your kitchen and read the label of it. So this is a task for you all.
Great. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask them or put it in your chat box. Would like to have any questions around label literacy. Also, we have prepared a list of the recommended brands. We have tested those brands. We've also know what the processing is. So if you're interested, we will obviously send you, along with this presentation, a list of our recommended products, like brands, where you can pick up the products from. And the next webinar would be very, very interesting one on essential oils. How can essential oils benefit your health? How to remain disease free using essential oil? How to bring abundance in your life using essential oil? If there are any sort of life threatening diseases, if there are any kind of blockages in your life, how essential oils will help. And we are going to invite a very special guest to give this webinar, so don't miss it. And we'll obviously share the details. And after that, we are going to come up with how to manage side effects of cancer therapy. It can be HRT, it could be any other any other side effect. So we again will share the details of that whenever. I think it should be more than in next 20 15 20 days. And if you have any other questions about your health, if you have any other doubts, please comment, please get in touch with us, and I'm sure that our entire team will help you benefit. And about this webinar, if you could just tell us in the chat box how was it, and or just come on the screen one by one and say if you liked it, if you have more questions, it will just help us improve.
It's very informative, really interesting. Even I since
Thank you, Shubha.
what was added into it. Now it's very clear.
Great. I hope you now will read the labels much more, in more information.
Yeah,
You
you're
will
right.
have information.
Yeah, we can guess what was added, what we
Right,
can avoid, which we can pick up.
right. Great. Anybody who wants to come or just share? Anandita, Rajashri, Sambodh. You can put your questions on the chat.
If anyone is interested to share anything, please unmute yourself.
Having this, hope this is healthy. Just can you check your chat box? Sambodh has messaged organic buttermilk. Check the sugars.
This is fine as far as you are not lactose intolerant, but not on a regular basis. Try to make your buttermilk at home. Super easy.
Sodium, if you see, it is 264 mg. And trans fat is 0. Okay, it's 0.9. But you know what I would say? See, or one of you could definitely try one of once in a while, but you can easily make plain buttermilk at home. It is heat treated. So heat treated meaning most of the properties when you heat the buttermilk will disappear, and
And
it's
the
packaged
good bacteria will be destroyed, ma'am.
definitely 100%. So you would want to, and the cultures now, they've done starter culture. The culture is very important. We do not know if they have used an artificial processed culture और they have used जो हम दही का जावन लेते हैं. So that is also one thing, because वो starter में भी बहुत सारे बैक्टीरिया डालते हैं और processed things डालते हैं जो कि नहीं लिखा गया है. So I hope that was helpful. I'm glad that you shared. Thank you so much for sharing, because it will make a lot of sense. See, you're starting to you start getting more and more information about the products you're using. Anybody else who wants to share anything? Don't have it regularly. Okay, great. Okay, so thank you everyone. I think we finished on time, and looking forward to see you in the next webinar. And please get in touch with us. We have these lot of programs. You can get in touch with us, or you can please put. I hope you all have joined our group, and you can ask questions in the group, put your comments in the groups about the webinar, and it will also, and please share it with other people. It would really mean a lot to us. Thank you. Thank you. We can leave the meeting. Okay, great.